Hi, this is Michael and welcome to my channel, Xplore Xpeng. This video is number 5 in the series looking at all the settings for the car on the infotainment screen. I'll be going through each one, explaining what they do and how they work. So if you haven't bought your car yet, this is invaluable to you to get to know the car in advance. If you have bought your car and haven't had a look through the settings yet, then hopefully I can show you something you didn't already know. Today's video is on the drive settings. So let's dive in. Hey Xpeng.
Hi there.
Open drive settings.
Okay.
So that's the quickest way to get into the settings whilst you're driving. You can also go to the bottom of the screen, the X dock, click on the vehicle. That opens up the settings at the very top section, vehicle. Go down to the 5th one, which is drive. The first thing you see are the 4 drive modes available: Eco, Comfort, Sport and Individual. Now these are the standard settings for that mode, Eco. You can customize these, but these are the default. Whatever mode you're in, the drive mode also shows on your driver's screen. Depending on the format you've got, that's very customizable. There's another video I've done on how to customize the driver's screen, so have a look at the link up there. But on my screen setup on the right, it shows Eco down the bottom here. And if you were to change that to Comfort, that has a little graphic and a sound, and it changes at the bottom there. Each one has its own color. Eco is a bright green, Comfort is a different color green, more of a lime green, Sport is red, and Individual is blue. Let's go back to Eco. So within each drive mode, you have different settings: power response, power steering, brake pedal feel, and X pedal regeneration. Now in each drive mode, the power response is set according to the mode you're in. So for Eco, it's Eco power response. For Comfort, it's Comfort power response. Sport, Sport power response. But Individual is the only one you can customize that first setting. So within Individual, you can change any of these settings to exactly how you want. So power response is going to give you a different amount of lag or no lag depending on the drive mode. So as you can imagine, power response in Sport mode is going to be a lot more instant than in Eco mode. Next one down, we have power steering. You can change that from light to normal or to heavy. And that just changes the way that the steering feels when you're driving. In park, it doesn't give you an indication of the feel there. All 3 of those feel exactly the same whilst you're in park mode, but when you're driving, you really do feel the difference. Then we have brake pedal feel. Do you want the brake pedal feel to be smooth, normal, or sensitive? So that will alter how smooth or soft the brake pedal feels. There's a real clear difference with these. All of these settings, you need to change them whilst you're driving safely and just find out which feels best for you. You can change a lot of these settings by voice, but I'm not going through that today. I'm just going through what's on the screen here so that you understand all the different settings that are available within the screen. But obviously it's much safer to change these settings, try them out whilst you're driving with a voice command. I will be doing a video on all the voice commands, all the different things you can change, so that you're aware of all the different commands that the Xbot will react to. Okay, under brake pedal feel, we have X pedal regeneration. Now, one of the big benefits of an electric car is the regeneration of power back into the battery whilst you're driving. So as you slow down, rather than pressing the brake, which stops the turn of the wheels in a normal petrol or diesel car, all the fuel you've put into turning those wheels, by pressing the brake, it just clamps onto the discs and slows the car down, and you lose all the energy you put in. With an electric car, you just lift off the accelerator pedal and that just slows the amount of power going to the wheels rather than actually braking the wheels. In doing that, that regenerates power back into the battery and charges it for you. It's the way you get the best efficiency out of the car, by not braking, but pulling off the accelerator and coasting to the junction you're coming up to, the roundabout, or to a stop. So you can disable that regeneration, so you just simply coast along and it doesn't slow down the wheels, or you can have it on low, medium, high. The eco mode has it on low, as you can see, but I personally would have that on high, so there's more regeneration going into the battery. We'll come on to my settings in a minute. I've got them stored in individual. I've tweaked all of these to how I like to drive the car and for the best economy for me. Okay, then we come on to stop mode. Stop mode is a new addition since the update 5.9.5. Again, another video I did on all the updates. I'll put a link up here. So it used to be with the G6 that the car wouldn't fully come to a stop when you took your foot off the accelerator. It would crawl along at 1 to 2 miles per hour. Even on the highest regeneration, it wouldn't fully come to a stop. Lots of reviewers, Tesla drivers, all have been used to one pedal driving in the Tesla models and would have liked to have seen this in the Xpeng. So in the recent update, Xpeng added stop mode, so you can turn on or turn off stop mode however you like it. And what that does is it brings the car to a complete stop and puts auto hold on, so you don't have to touch the brake at all. For me, it has been a real game changer. I never used to see the excitement of one pedal driving. I'd never had it, admittedly. I used to use ACC to keep up with the traffic in front. That would stop and start the car, so didn't need one pedal driving, didn't have to touch the brake. But now with stop mode, if you're coming to a junction, coming up to traffic lights and no car in front of you, when you judge it right, you can take your foot off the accelerator, slow down, come to a stop at that junction or traffic lights or roundabout, and it will come to a full stop. So that's been really good, a really good addition. Now, within all of these modes, you can alter them to how you want. So I can change power steering to normal, I could change brake feel to sensitive, I could change X pedal to high, and that will save those settings for you, no problem. If you ever want to reset them back to the default, that's this button here under the stop mode. So if you note eco, I've got it on normal, sensitive, high. If I press reset, drive mode reset. After reset, the settings of the current drive mode will return to the default. So press OK, and now they've moved back to light, smooth, and low. Okay, so you can customize each of those drive modes within the drive mode itself, or you can set up an individual mode with your own settings on it. So if I show you comfort mode, that increases the power steering to normal from light in eco. It goes to normal on the brake pedal feel from smooth, and it leaves regeneration on low. If we go to sport mode, then everything goes up to the maximum. Power response is obviously sport, power steering is heavy, brake pedal feel is sensitive. It doesn't change the regeneration, I notice, in any of these modes. It keeps it on low on every single one, and they're all reset to the default for this video. Now, one other thing which I almost forgot to add, when you're in sport mode, there is one other small setting which you don't get on any of the other drive modes. So have a look here, sport, we have launch mode. The car performance will be maximized with faster response and greater force you feel pushing you back into the seat. So go to a quiet road, straight road, no other traffic around, turn on launch mode, floor it, and feel yourself being pushed back into the seat as you grip onto the steering wheel and feel the exhilaration. So that's something to try out. Other than that, all the settings are the same there. Then individual, these are my individual settings that I drive to. Gets great efficiency for me. I'm currently on 97% battery, 328 miles is showing as the dynamic range. And that's after on Thursday I actually did a long trip, 218 miles. A lot of motorway driving. It wasn't as efficient as my normal driving around town, but it's still showing 328 miles on 97%. So my individual mode settings, I have power response as eco, and I don't find that an issue at all. I've heard people talking about a slight lag before it moves off, but it's fine for me. I think all these things are things you get used to and what you're after, really. I used to have a Jaguar F-Type, and that was quick off the line, excellent braking because it was a 400 brake horsepower engine, needed efficient brakes, but I am quite happy in eco mode, nice smooth ride and power response on eco. Power steering I have on heavy. I like to feel that when I'm turning the wheel, it's actually moving the wheels instantly. I find that on the light power steering, it isn't as responsive and I just don't like that feel. Brake pedal feel I have on the highest sensitive. So again, if I have to use the brakes, that I'm getting a very instant response. And then X pedal regeneration I have on high. So it's putting the maximum amount of power back into the batteries when I slow down. And then I have stop mode on. Okay, so that's all the drive modes. If we then go down to adjustment of the steering wheel and side mirrors. As in previous videos, if there's a little triangle up in the right hand top corner of a box, that means there's more information available. So steering wheel shortcut refers to the button, the star button here on the steering wheel. So you can customize that button to any of these 5 options. I have it as opening the boot and closing the boot. You can also set it to turn on and off the cameras outside the car and show on the screen inside here. You can have it activate or exit the lane centering control. I'm recording a voiceover here because I actually went and tested this after I'd recorded the video, and it actually activates ACC and LCC at the same time, not LCC on its own as it suggests. And I'm going to be testing this for a few days just to see how convenient it is compared to the double tap on the right stalk. As you can see there, that little window closes if you don't do anything after a short period. So let's open that up again. The next option is open and close the charging port cover. So you could press the button here. If you know you're going to pull up and charge, pull up at home or pull up at a public charger, press the star button, which opens up the port cover. And then the last one, enable auto park assist. So again, when you go to park, instead of engaging reverse and then going into the screen, you can enable auto parking assist via the star button. So it might save a little bit of time, particularly if you want to forward park into a space. If you activate via the star button, you don't need to engage reverse, wait for it to come up and then select your auto parking. Okay, so tap anywhere to come out of that little window. Then we have exterior side mirrors. Again, another window opens up. Within here you have side mirrors and streaming rear view mirror. If I come out, you notice we've also got streaming rear view mirror here, and that opens up exactly the same pop-up window but takes you straight to the rear view mirror section. So let's go back to the side mirrors first. You can press these 2 buttons simply to fold, if you can see that in that camera there, or unfold. And you can set when you reverse, do you want one or both of your mirrors to tilt down? Now I find that really handy, and I have that tilting down on my left side, passenger side or curb side mirror. When I engage reverse, that mirror drops down, gives me a better view of the curb side, so I can parallel park without fear of scuffing my wheels. But you can also do the same with the right hand mirror. Personally, I don't want that. I want to see directly behind me, as well as seeing the curbside on the left. I guess in other countries, left-hand drive cars, you might want the mirror on the right to drop down. But there may be instances as well you do want both. Then the next option down is, do we want to fold the side mirrors automatically after vehicle locking? I do that, have that set, so it's ideal for when you're parking in a car park, other cars beside you. When you lock the car, the wing mirrors turn in, and just a little bit safer from people knocking your wing mirrors. Again, a lot of these functions are available in other areas of the system. You don't have to delve into these menus to get access to these. You can use voice. You can also swipe down, and things like fold and unfold the mirrors, which you might want available more quickly, they're available in that drop down menu as well. But again, today I'm just going through everything available on the settings menus. The next setting at the bottom is side mirror auto unfold. Do you want the side mirrors to auto unfold when you unlock the vehicle, so the opposite to the one above, or do you want them to unfold when you open the actual door? Personally, I want them to unfold when I unlock the vehicle. Both of those indicate to me when I walk away from the car and it auto locks from distance when my phone moves away. I look back, and if I can see that the mirrors are folded in, I know it's locked. Similarly, when I walk up to the car and it unlocks, then I want to see the mirrors fold out, and that again just tells me it's unlocked ready. But you may want the mirrors to unfold when you open the doors instead, so you can set that there. The other thing within this section is, as you can see on the steering wheel graphic here, you can alter the mirror position via the scroll wheels and the buttons. So for the left-hand mirror, use the left-hand buttons. For the right-hand mirror, use the right-hand buttons. So very self-explanatory. The left button simply moves the wing mirror outwards, and the right button moves it inwards on the left-hand mirror, and same on the other side. Right moves out and left moves in, and then the scroll wheels on the left-hand side, we move it up and the mirror moves up, or we move it down for the opposite. Same on the right side, up and down. So really easily adjustable via your steering wheel buttons here, and that's all saved within your driver profile. Okay, then tab along streaming rear view mirror. As I say, you can also access it on the main drive menu via that button there. For recording this video, I've already turned the streaming rear view mirror off, but I do actually have it on all the time. So you can either turn it on now, or if you can see up on this camera here, it's off at the moment. There's a button on the top center here. You press that to turn it on, press it again to turn it off. Okay, so turn on from the screen, and that comes on there. To move the mirror, again, use the steering wheel controls. So the left-hand wheel controls the zoom. So if you can see that mirror there on the side of my house, if I move it up, it zooms in. You've got 1, 2, 3, 3 different levels of zoom. So you move the left-hand wheel up or down accordingly. I have it on the maximum zoom out, so you can see the furthest away. And then the right-hand wheel controls the height, so you can tilt the camera down or up. Again, I have it on the maximum level down, so I can see down towards cars behind me. But you can scroll it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 steps. So I scroll that back down, you can see that moving. Okay, so that's how you adjust the position of the mirror and the zoom level. We've then got other options here. Do you want automatic visibility adjustment at high speeds? I've turned that on. I'm not entirely sure what it's doing, but if it's giving me better visibility at high speeds, obviously I want that. So I have that turned on. And then we have automatic visibility adjustment while reversing. Again, if that's an enhancement to the camera, then why wouldn't you? Then lastly, down the bottom here, we have a brightness preference. So if you can see the camera above, I've got it on level 3 at the moment, which is the middle. We've got 5 levels. So if I go to level 1, you can see that dims it down. Level 2, slightly brighter. Level 3 is where I have it. Level 4, brighter still. And level 5, maximum brightness. At the end of the day, it's a camera on the back, and it's a screen effectively inside here. So brightness levels can affect how long the screen lasts. So I don't want that ultra bright all the time. So level 3 works for me. So that's the settings for the streaming rear view mirror. Just going to turn that off again. All I'm doing there is preserving the life of the camera and the screen by doing that, turning it off when I don't need it. So if ever you're sat parked, I would recommend turning that off just to extend the life of the screen here and the camera. The next settings down underneath that are driving settings. We have auto hold. So auto hold basically activates when you come to a stop. You get a green brake symbol and a letter A in the middle of it. So auto hold puts on the brakes for you when you come to a complete stop, but it's not a hard handbrake. You can just move off. So if you're at traffic lights, green light comes on, your stop mode brings you to a stop, auto hold automatically comes on, and when you want to go again, traffic light goes green, and you simply press the accelerator pedal and the brake releases, and off you go. So auto hold being on does all that for me. If you don't want that, turn it off, but I don't see a reason why you wouldn't want it. Then we have comfortable braking. When ESP is turned on, it will intelligently control the braking force to enhance parking comfort. So again, if that's an enhancement of the braking, then why not? So I have that on. Hill descent control. When it's turned on, it automatically controls the vehicle's speed when going downhill. So if you are going down a particularly steep hill, turn on hill descent control to gently take you down the slope rather than speed up down it and be reliant on your accelerator pedal. So that's just going to help you get down a hill. Then we have electronic stability control off. So the button to turn it on actually turns electronic stability control off. So it can be a bit confusing. A light turned on indicates the ESC system has been deactivated and you should stay safe while driving. The system will auto reactivate when the vehicle is restarted or driven over 80 kilometers per hour. So electronic stability control is a safety feature which is always on, but you can force it off by turning that button on. Then we have electronic parking brake. After it's turned on, the vehicle will be parked with the parking brake. This function will be turned on automatically in P gear and cannot be turned off. So when you go into P gear, the electronic parking brake automatically comes on. So I'm not entirely sure why you would turn that off. If we do turn that off, it comes up with a message for safe parking and to prevent the vehicle rolling. The electronic parking brake cannot be turned off while in park mode. Let's have a look. If I go into drive, okay, then the electronic parking brake is off. I've actually got my foot on the brake so I don't move. I've got auto parking brake on the screen here. By pressing the brake, that's come on. If I press electronic parking brake, so the electronic parking brake is on, the auto hold parking has come off. So there's a difference between the two there. So difference between auto hold and electronic parking brake. Then lastly in this section, we have passenger airbag off or on. So with young children under a certain age in the UK, I think it's about 12 or it's by height, it's unsafe to have passenger airbags on. So the guidance from UK government is kids of a young age, then turn off the passenger airbags because their ribs aren't capable of withstanding the force of the airbag inflating in an accident. Once they're of a certain age or size, then you should always have passenger airbag on. And obviously with any adults in the car, that should be on. So there's the option there to turn it on or off. So quite a comprehensive section there. The main thing you'll use there, once you've set all the other things up how you want, is the drive modes. As I said, very easy to activate each drive mode by voice. You don't have to go in the screen to do this, but it might be worth going in the screen initially to set them up how you want them. So I hope that's been understandable and helpful. Gets a little bit tricky sometimes trying to explain certain features, but hopefully it's all clear. If it has helped you, then please press the like button. Have a look in the description below for discounts off of accessories with a discount code that I've got. Links to the Facebook G6 UK group, which is really helpful. Lots of questions and advice on there from people who've had their cars longer than I have. So lots of knowledge worth joining. And please do leave me a comment. Any questions, anything that wasn't clear, I'll try and clear up. Sometimes I don't cover everything in these videos. I'm trying to pack it all in there as clearly as possible. But anything that's missing, please let me know below and I'll answer every question. And to get the next video in the series, that will be on the real-time SR assist. Then subscribe, turn on alerts, you'll get notified when the next video comes out. So all that's left to say is thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.